Before we start, let's have a little round of applause for Elizabeth Mitchell, who was nominated for an Emmy.
Yes. And what I want you to do, I want you to now freeze it. Now say, let's have a round of applause for Elizabeth Mitchell, who's won the Emmy.
Oh,
so you can run this like,
we can do it after. Exactly.
You're gonna win.
So never gonna happen, but I'm very grateful.
Real quick, were you surprised by that? I mean, it's like you've had previous seasons where you really deserved it.
On camera. No, I was completely shocked, and I was like, but then I got really happy because I loved Juliet so much. So then I kind of had that like weird mom thing where you're proud of your child because I was like, Juliet did it! And I know that sounds bizarre, but that is how it.
So what's your Emmy-winning moment from those 7 minutes?
I don't think I have one. I don't think I did anything. The only thing I liked is that they showed everything. So I guess me hanging on to Sawyer, that was some good stuff. I was actually pretty sad. So whenever I believe it, it works.
All right.
Yeah,
Much
that's very kind. Thank you very much.
Do you have your speech written out?
Of course not.
Not
It's never gonna happen.
I'd like to thank
But Chris said he wants me to win just because he knows I'm gonna forget his name. My husband. He's like, I know you're gonna forget to thank me. He goes, and I know I'm gonna get to hold that over your head for years. So yes.
Well, if you do win, give a nice plug for V, right? That promotion couldn't hurt, right?
That's
There you go,
That's
right?
right. Do it for us.
It'll never happen, but it's a lovely thing. It made me really happy.
V overcame some sort of growing pains. I think it's fair to say that, right?
Yeah, I
Little
think
bumps
that's
in the
it.
road, but it seemed to get its groove on by the end of the season in a big way. Did you guys feel that too?
I loved the last three. I loved, and I think you liked them too.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, I really thought those were terrific.
Everybody felt that sense that a shift, that the show had finally sort of
Yeah.
reached its potential or is approaching its potential?
Yeah, I believe, going through what we went through, I think it made us closer as a cast, and it just really, after we went through, I think we've all grown through that experience, and I think this year should be a pretty exciting year. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. I think a lot of it goes to Scott. I mean, you stepped in and did it so beautifully, and reading the scripts when we get them as actors, we were all like very excited about where it was going.
And season 2, is it just going to maintain that? I mean, it sounds like you've got some big, exciting things planned. I just heard you guys talking out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Buzz.
I sort of came in the middle, and my goal was to try to plant the seeds to create something that could last for hopefully a really long time. And I think, just if you watch the season finale, it's sort of we had some very strong choices for all the different characters, and so they're gonna, I think, just coming off of that, just being in the writer's room, we've had so many great stories that we've come up with that we're excited to tell, and I think it's gonna be, I would say the last 3 episodes are probably a pretty good template for what this show will feel like moving forward.
I hear shifting loyalties will be a big theme early in this season.
Cool.
How'd you hear that? How'd you hear that, by the way?
Where'd you get that information from?
Water cooler Buzz.
Oh, okay.
The water cooler in the other room. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think that what's going to happen, what I want to do, and what these guys are so great at doing it is find the nerve endings in the characters and just squeeze them. And I think what's going to happen is they're in a war, and war changes people, and that's really a lot of when you talk about loyalty. I think it's how are these characters going to react when they're in a war, when it's life and death, and they have to choose between themselves or possibly the greater good. Which decision are they going to make? There will be, I think, a lot of loyalty shifting and a lot of maneuvering, and then the question is, where will the dominant, when they fall, what side is everybody going to be on?
How important is it that the show airs consecutively?
The plan is to run consecutively. Actually, the first 6, I believe, will start in November, and then I think it's Christmas, so I think we're off for like 2 weeks, and then we'll run the rest of the episodes.
2 weeks makes sense. You got to have the Charlie
you don't
Brown
wanna-
Christmas show.
exactly.
You got to have you can't interrupt that stuff.
Most
No,
shows
you
do
can't.
that. Most
No.
shows do that.
Yes.
So, but yes, the idea is to run them straight through, and that's the plan.
Yeah, because I'm on V, and I probably would watch the Charlie Brown special every year.
I love that.
I feel like I don't even want to compete
It's a
with
ritual,
that stuff.
exactly.
I
Yeah,
know.
so.
But you'll have a cliffhanger at the end of that
Yes,
6th
we have
one?
a huge cliffhanger for the end of Act 6 that will almost feel like a season finale. It'll be pretty much that big, and I think it's and that will launch us off into the remaining episodes.
Last question, what happens when the sky turns red? What happened in those final moments?
It was the first shot in the war, and part of the fun of the first episode is this team discovering, because I always use this example, I'll probably repeat this again, it's the way Anna operates is if you take like a frog and you put a frog in boiling water, it will jump right out. If you put a frog in room temperature water and you start to boil it, as the temperature increases, the frog will acclimate and it will not jump out, and ultimately it will cook and be dead and not even know that it happened. And so all of Anna's sort of plans work that way. And what's the fun of this season is finally I'm going to have this group led by Erica start to get a little bit ahead of them for the first time and start to figure out what these plans are. So they'll know what the red sky was, but the world won't.
Got it.
But it is the first shot of the war, and you will find out what it is at the end of the first episode, but it's such a big twist that I don't want to give it away right now.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
And we're the frog,
No, I wanna know
obviously.
what's happening.
Clearly.
We're getting really kind of sleepy.
Yeah.
The water's
Yeah.
kind of warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's end with one more round of applause for Elizabeth Mitchell's
Yeah.
animation.